Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. This is going to be the top 5, bottom 5 DVDs of the 2013 year. These are just basically, if you're going to be spending Christmas cash, maybe gift cards on wrestling DVDs, these are the, the 5 DVDs that would make you say, make sure you buy these or make sure you stay away from this coming year. Like when you call them the bottom 5 DVDs, they're not horrible. I'm holding them in my hands. I own them. I paid my money for them. So, I mean, like, if I'm calling anybody out, I'm calling myself out. But basically, I got inspired to make this video because you guys liked the one I made last year, and my good buddy, Jimny888 today is going to be making his top 10 WWE DVDs this year. So make sure you head on over there. Make sure you do it today, sooner than later, because every once in a while I think that it's, he's got a reputation. These are going to be the, starting with the number 5. This is going to be the Money in the Bank Anthology. This was, there's nothing wrong with this DVD. It's got all the ladder matches. But as a DVD collector, honestly, I feel like I already own all of these through the WrestleMania DVDs, which are a must-buy. The Money in the Bank pay-per-views for the last few years have been really, really good. And just having them all on one set is good and convenient, but more than likely the Money in the Bank ladder match is not going to end. So now next year when they do the Money in the Bank, there's going to be 2 more matches we don't have, and then 2 more matches the next year. And basically, if they keep doing them like that, it's going to be 6 years before they can get 12 more matches to make a volume 2 of these, and before they can give us another one. So I gave it the bottom 5. The next one is going to be the ECW Unreleased Volume 2 set. I wasn't a big fan of Volume 1 either. I really do love ECW. I like watching ECW pay-per-views. I like watching ECW shows. But these match compilations that they're coming out with, I honestly can't get into. I have put these in and watched certain matches, but I just can't sit down and watch them for a long period of time. So, I put that at number 4. Number 3 is going to be the Best of WWE at Madison Square Garden. This is the first DVD that's highlighted by Bruno Sammartino there on the cover with Hulk Hogan and John Cena. To me, this is honestly a whole lot of stuff that we already have through basically the guys' DVDs that have came out over the year, the best ofs. They always put like a Madison Square Garden match on there, or they put SummerSlams, WrestleManias, or Survivor Series matches on there. Did we really need to see The Rock's debut at Madison Square Garden? They say this is the best of Madison Square Garden. Was that match really the best match that was on that show? No, it just happened to be Rocky Maivaia's debut match. But, I don't know. I wanted more stuff that I had never seen before, or more stuff that I didn't own at this time. I can remember The Undertaker's Deadliest Matches came out. It had an Undertaker versus the Ultimate Warrior body bag match, and that was a diamond gem for me that made me want to go out and buy that one. Just a match that I had never seen before, and a match that I could put on my shelf, and that's what I was expecting when this Madison Square Garden set came out. Number 2, worst DVD of 2013 is going to be the Ultimate Collection of Goldberg. I did like one thing that they came out with. They separated his career into 2 discs, WCW and WWE. They didn't let him be a part of this set. There's no interviews, there's no introductions, there's no thank yous, there's no goodbyes. One day I think Goldberg is going to be a Hall of Famer for the WWE, mainly because they're going to run out of guys to put in there, and they put, 7 to 8 guys in there every year. This isn't a burial like the Ultimate Warrior one, but basically one day when Goldberg is welcomed back into the WWE, family, I feel like he's going to get a DVD release with a documentary in the set highlighting his wrestling career, and then they're going to be needing to give us more matches to fill that out. Basically, re-releasing this down the road. That's why it is number 2. Number 1. This thing sucks. Avoid this at all costs. $3.99 is the price that I would pay for this over again. There's very little wrestling on here that matters of anything. The Dungeon Collection from Bret Hart came out. It was matches he picked, not as his best ofs, just as matches that he recalled as his favorites or had little stories to tell about him. The ones that are highlighted on here: Bret Hart versus Dynamite Kid, Bret Hart versus Andre the Giant, Bret the Hitman Hart against Tiger Mask 2, Bret the Hitman Hart versus The Undertaker, Bret the Hitman Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Honestly, the Austin match from South Africa was the one match that I was really, really looking up for. And even the Austin match, that match kind of stunk. I never really got into this. This is one of the last DVDs that I watched with my group of friends on Skype, where we, had 5 guys all watching it at the same time. And this was something that we just completely lost interest in. We wanted to make sure we finished, but if it wasn't us trying to tweet Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho that night, I really don't think that we would have made it. So that is going to be the bottom 5 DVDs of the 2013 year. I'm going to give this honorable mention. I didn't do this last year. I think I nominated for something for the best of 2013 already. But this is going to be the Raw 20th anniversary set. This isn't in the bottom. It isn't in the top. It's probably going to be a must-own for everybody out there. 20 great episodes, uncut and edited of WWE Monday Night Raw from over the years of its 20 years of existence. I honestly haven't opened it except for the video that I made on YouTube. Honestly, because if you sit down to watch a Monday Night Raw, it's going to be an hour and a half. And I don't really know if I really want to watch a whole episode of Monday Night Raw. I know I can hit the fast forward, but if I'm going to give this, the money that I paid for it, I'm going to make sure that I watch the whole damn thing. And when I look at these, matches that they picked, a lot of them are already on, the best of Raw sets. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Monday Night Raw DVDs, just so I can count off the top of my shelf. From Raw the beginning, the Best of Raw Volume 1 and Volume 2, 10th Anniversary, 15th Anniversary, Best of Raw 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, Raw 100. You get the point. We got a lot of Raw footage already. So these are going to be the top 5 DVDs, counting down from number 5. Number 5 is going to be the Best of In Your House, a 2-disc set. I love the down years of WWE. Some of my favorite stuff is the stuff that came out like 1993, the years after Hogan left, when they're really trying to reinvent themselves. And through this time period of In Your House, which runs from 95 to 99, when they were doing the monthly pay-per-views, it was guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, the Bulldog, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kane, so on and so forth, going out and giving their best. The angles weren't always the greatest, but the matches were always damn good quality. And this was around the time when, you had to order these shows. They were a little bit cheaper. I want to say they were $20 a show, so they were a little bit easier to ask for. $20 pay-per-views a month instead of the $30 ones that were the big ones. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and the King of the Ring, the Big 5. But awesome stuff on this one. Make sure you own this. More than likely, you probably already have. Number 4 is going to be the War Games DVD. This probably would be higher on the list if it wasn't for Disc 2. If this was a 1-disc set, this would be one of the greatest wrestling DVDs that came out of all time. The only thing is that WCW sort of ruined War Games from 1995 on. I can think of one War Games that was really, really good. The first NWO versus WCW one. And after that, everything is extremely trash. But I mean, like, if you go on the first disc and you just look at the first matches that were on there, the first match itself from the Great American Bash, July 4th, 1987, the Road Warriors, Dusty Rhodes, and Nikita Koloff, going up against Ric Flair, Lex Luger, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and J.J. Dillon. That alone is worth the price of this DVD. That one match alone. I watched that, I pressed stop, I hit the back button, and I watched it again. Fucking awesome stuff. But WCW, like everything, ruined War Games, and watch Disc 1, don't watch Disc 2. Number 3 is going to be the 50 years of WWE, the history of WWE, I guess you can say. You got Bruno, Triple H, Andre and Hulk, John Cena, and The Rock on there. I really liked the documentary on here. I really liked the selection of matches that were on here. A lot of stuff had already been talked about. I talked about it in my review. It's like they took a chapter of, the Monday Night Wars, of WCW, of the McMahon DVD, of, the Hulkamania DVD, the Best of WrestleMania. Everything on here is really talked about. But then you get chapters on things like the Owen Hart's death. And you see insights on that you've never seen before. Really, really good. I could have done without the WWE Films thing, because more than likely, it's not going to be around forever and ever, and that's not something that we really need to look back on as Big Show, going out there and acting in Knucklehead. Number 2 best DVD of 2013 goes to Triple H, Thy Kingdom Come to Dis Set. I really love Triple H. Triple H is my favorite wrestler of all time. I don't think anybody is greater than him in my mind. He's just always the one guy that I knew that when he went out there and wrestled matches, he was always going to have the best matches on that show, and they were going to be worth the money that they were out there. In the last 2 years, we've seen him blow the house down at WrestleMania against Undertaker, and now he's going to be moving into taking over WWE. He's going to be basically the new Vince McMahon. I guess on the back of here they call him the WWE Chief Operating Officer, and he's just going to be, the guy from here on out. This documentary, because he is my favorite wrestler, I have, read a lot about him and looked into his past. It's pretty cool to see him as an indie wrestler. Man, he did suck at one time. But, basically that was almost the only thing that I had really never seen before. There was something that was a little bit questionable on there, is either they've lied to us in the past or they were correcting their story about Triple H going to Eric Bischoff and basically telling him that he moved to Atlanta. Eric Bischoff would see that as a sign that he wanted to be a professional wrestler, that he really wanted this, and he would go to the power plant and he would get signed. Eric Bischoff completely left out of this. Wasn't even mentioned by name or anything. So, I don't know. They lied to us here, they lied to us there. And then the number 1 slot of the must-own DVD of this year is going to be The Last of McGinnis. This is the director's cut. I'm not really sure if it's the same as the other one, and I know that he's re-released this in some newer ways, but I'm glad that I got this one because this DVD was awesome. It's got 50 credits, it's got some extras, but just, his struggle with having to leave the world of professional wrestling, his struggle of maybe making the wrong decision, not choosing, WWE over TNA. I remember I honestly didn't even know who Nigel McGuinness or Bryan Danielson was, but I knew that it was a big deal when they signed because it basically took over all of the wrestling websites. And then, there was this basic thing where McGuinness put his foot down and was like, WWE's stalling on, getting this paperwork done, and he just took the TNA offer. And when he first went to TNA, he was wrestling Kurt Angle every night for months on shows and on pay-per-views, and he looked like he was going to be the biggest star in the world. I remember Eric Bischoff started the top 10 rankings, and basically a guy that wasn't winning that much on TV, the fans voted him as the number 1 contender for the TNA title. That basically they had to change the rules, and that was really when he really came onto my perspective, and I wanted to know more about him. And then all of a sudden, just out of the middle of nowhere, he's scheduled for a tag team match on a pay-per-view, and he just disappears from the face of the world. And this is the story that he did on his career. He went out and he wrestled, I can't remember how many shows it was, his final countdown of 10 matches or whatever it was when he was going around the world, calling it the Last of McGinnis tour. And just basically seeing somebody love something so much and try to give everything in the world to it, and basically having the struggles of not getting anything back for it, I guess you can say. I think with the sales of this DVD and the t-shirts and the Kickstarter fund, I think he found out that there are fans out there that really love him and will support him in anything he does. And, you just feel for this guy. Awesome documentary. Make sure you go out of your way to get this one. I don't know how you're going to get it. Like I said, he has re-released it. And I think he even said that the other one's edited for non-wrestling fans. So, honestly, make sure you're getting what you're paying for, because I would say make sure you get one of the first editions if a fan is selling it, or if you can convince him to sell you one, I don't know. But that'll conclude the top 5, bottom 5 DVDs of 2013.